afternoon from the Alton Towers Resort, where it's only July 2024. However, our first signs of Scarefest this year are starting to appear around the park, and we thought we'd film a video, bring you all the latest updates about Scarefest this year, and also some speculation about what we might be seeing at this year's events.
So Scarefest this year is going to be running from the 11th of October all the way through till the 3rd of November, so we've got a long run for Scarefest this year.
Yeah, normally Scarefest would have like a little break in the middle, like an off-peak week, but no, literally it's running all the way through every day. The park's going to be open until 9 o'clock at night, and we always look forward to Scarefest, don't we?
I just love walking around the park on an evening, getting the atmosphere with the lights. Like, we often just pop up for like the last bit of the evening, just to have a walk around.
It's really nice, and the night rides have certainly been the highlight over the past few years. Because we've mentioned in our past few Scarefest vlogs, the lineup for Halloween here has been very stale. Stalefest, as we've called it for a few years. It really did need some changes, and finally this year Alton Towers are bringing some big changes to the event, and we're going to talk about those in this video. And we thought we'd start this update down here by the Alton Towers Dungeon that did close just last week. We'll come on to that in just a moment. But yeah, I thought we'd have a look at this nice visual that the park have put up here. And straight away, a bit of an updated logo. This is really nice. Alton Towers Resort presents Scarefest. Very professional. I think it looks nice actually on the black background just there. And then you've got this nice visual over here as well. Now, obviously we can look at this and see a few things like them rides in the dark. You got 13 down there, Emily, Alton, Nemesis. But then there's a few other things to note from this as well, which may mean these things are coming back or things coming in for Scarefest this year.
First of all, the symbols. These represent Daz Games, so that could mean that Daz Games is coming back for this year. And also we've got the large sweets, which would represent Trick or Treat Town.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if that comes back. Some big pumpkins as well. Obviously you've got the stage. A big part of Scarefest is entertainment. Slightly different stage there. It makes me think if they're going to change the location or have a new stage, or if that's just what they wanted to put on this, with it being like a visual image just to show there is entertainment. Probably the latter, but still there's a massive focus on Nemesis there on the left hand side, and again we'll come on to that a little bit later on, some of the rumours that we've heard about Scarefest this year. But yeah, quite interesting to look at, all the little things on there. And then of course you got the Alton Towers Dungeon. So this opened back in 2019. If you remember, we had like a behind the scenes tour during the construction of that.
We did, so we got to have a look behind the scenes of it before it did open to the public, get some photos and get a feel for the dungeon before it opened to the public.
Now it's one of them things, we love the dungeons in general. Like they're great at the Merlin attractions. You go around to Blackpool, to London, Edinburgh, the dungeons are fantastic. But for us, this never really fit in here within a theme park. And I think as well, the fact you had to pay extra on top of your ticket admission, and even as annual pass holders, you had to pay extra as well, was certainly very off-putting. In total, we probably did this maybe 4 times since 2019, but it has now closed because something big and new is coming in here for Scarefest.
What's exciting about the space for this is a large space for a scare attraction. Like, there's a lot of rooms, there's a lot of potential for this attraction, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Alton Towers do with this one.
Now, is it going to be one of them that are just going to reuse a lot of the old dungeons rooms and scenery and give it kind of one last run before potentially demolishing or doing something else with the inside? Or could it be, you know, they're going to gut all that now and that's why they've shut it a few months early and put loads of new things in? I guess we'll find out.
I'd like to hope that they're going to actually put quite a few new bits in, otherwise it's just going to feel like I'm walking around the dungeons without it being the dungeons, if you know what I mean. So I'm hoping that more theming does come in and they change a few bits. So what sort of theme are we going to get? We just don't know.
Are they going to use the ride system?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they will use the ride system, but we don't know at this point.
So you've got a boat ride that's actually been here at Alton Towers since 1981, like a long time. It opened as Around the World in 80 Days. I never got to experience that, but something that I did love was the ride that followed it, and that was of course Toyland Tours. That was a fantastic ride. Great memories in Toyland Tours.
I love Toyland Tours. I was gutted when it closed. It was an amazing ride, so colourful. I will always remember that. And
then after that it was replaced with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Then that closed. We had a few years where there was nothing in here, and then the dungeon. So this is like the 4th thing that's gone into this building, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what we get for Scarefest this year inside this building. But obviously at the moment all this has now been blocked up. No work really on the facade or anything from what we can see down there. Everything's still in place. Obviously Trick or Treat Town over on the left-hand side. Like, are we going to have like the thrill attraction here and Trick or Treat Town to the left? Saying that, it could be a family attraction. We don't know. They haven't really released much.
I've got a feeling with the theme. Obviously, this is not going to happen. We don't know if it will. We haven't heard anything. Speculation. I think it's going to be medieval themed. I really do. I think it's going to be medieval themed, and I think that would go down really well.
It makes sense.
In there, I like medieval, so that's what I think it's going to be.
It makes sense. If they want to go the cheaper route, that would make sense. Early speculation. Yeah, if you want to do the cheaper route, that's certainly what we could expect.
Like I said, I don't know how it would work with having this and then Trick or Treat Town next door. I don't know how it would work.
Yeah, it'd be interesting just to see. They have actually changed the signage just here as well. So this is where it had the dungeon on before. Scarefest returns, and yeah, you've got that slightly updated logo there, which I think looks really nice. I think it's good that they've done a bit of an update for this year with fresh stuff coming in. And before we continue on talking about Scarefest, let's also just talk about the long term as well for this building. Like I say, there's been a ride in there since 1981. It'd be interesting to see just what happens after this Scarefest. Is the dungeon going to come back for next year? That's kind of up in the air, isn't it, at the moment?
I think for me personally, I wouldn't like to see the dungeon come back. I think they've sort of sent it off, and I think it should remain closed.
Yeah, I'd love to see them do something else at this building, especially with potentially a new indoor roller coaster on the horizon around the corner. I think it'd be really nice to see them redevelop this whole area, but still we'll see what happens. You've got a ride system in there that is quite old now, manufactured by Mack Rides. It's been rethemed a few times. They could gut that, use the building for something else. It's clear though the building isn't going to be going anywhere anytime soon, because they've actually applied for planning permission to put solar panels on the roof as well. So that shows that the building itself is certainly going to be staying here for a while, and I guess we'll see. Along with that though, the dungeon, the actors in there did an amazing job.
Like, they gave it 110%. They did an amazing job. It's just more the setting of the dungeons just did not work within a theme park.
Definitely, and I'm sure all the actors in there will be repositioned to different places around the park, which I'm sure they're really enjoying instead of just being inside the dungeon all day. It's one of them, like, just it was okay, but it was never as good as other dungeons out there. So we've now made our way round to the front of the beautiful Alton Towers themselves. And of course the towers have been a huge part of Halloween here at the resort for many years. In fact, the first Halloween event at Alton Towers was way back in 2002, and it was the Alton Towers Spooktacular. I remember visiting then, and you had the original Terror of the Towers, and of course then we had Scarefest that started from 2007, and that really evolved over the years, and we saw multiple different scare attractions actually built within the towers ruins themselves. And you know what? We've had some amazing mazes in there over the years, we really have. And it was always a matter of the tower's ruins used to close off like the start of September, and they'd start construction, and then of course you'd have Scarefest and the ruins would open again. But that started to change a few years ago when Alton Towers would just keep more of the towers closed for longer periods and leaving scare mazes actually set up. Now it does seem like that finally Alton Towers want to build some new locations for scare mazes outside of the towers, and we're going to show you them two new locations shortly in the video. But it does seem like gradually over the next couple of years we're seeing the mazes come out of the towers, and it's one of them things for me. I didn't mind the mazes being in there, especially Terror of the Towers. It was a beautiful setting, walking around such a historic building. Well, the problem started was when they actually started to just leave things set up all the time. So yeah, I'm really hoping that we see, you know, all the mazes come out of the towers, allowing the building to be open again, and we'll be of course covering that in the tour that we're going to be doing in the next couple of days. Yeah, so stay tuned for that vlog here on the channel. Now in terms of what to expect in the towers this year, we know that the attic is still set up. Now that was all at the top there. You see how all the windows are still blocked out. Queue line for the attic the other side, the middle windows, but the main part of the attraction at the top. So it'll be interesting to see if the attic comes back this year or not. And also we can see that construction's underway over here now for the return of Altonville Mine Tours. Now last year it did have a refresh. It had been here for a very long time and it was exactly the same. So yeah, it did have a bit of a refresh for last year as a Tiny's Revenge, and you know what, it was great, and it was still actually the best maze here. I am hoping though that this is probably the last year of this now in here.
I really hope this is the last year. I think this year they can kind of get away with it because it had that slight retheme, but I think this needs to be the last year of this.
Yeah, obviously it's clearly coming back. We can see the setup down here, like you've got all these fences up, and you've got the little buildings down there, so that's pretty much confirmation that Altonville Mine Tours is coming back. Will that be the only maze in the towers this year, or will we see the return of the attic? It'll be interesting to see, but I don't think it'll be too long until we have the official announcement from Scarefest. As you mentioned though, there's two brand new locations that are currently under construction for scare mazes, so we're going to have a look at those. So we're just over to the left of the towers now, and for the past few years, this location has been home to Darkest Depths, an absolutely awesome scare maze that was actually built in shipping containers, and also as well in the old parade building that had been standing here for years. They've actually demolished all of that now, so it shows that Darkest Depths isn't coming back this year. And with the plan application that we saw online, they're actually putting in a new temporary but semi-permanent building, which is made up of shipping containers and also like a tent through the middle. And obviously one of these is already in place at the other side of the park over in Gloomy Wood, so we'll take a little look at that shortly. Well, basically they're building a second one of these over here now, so they've completely demolished what was here before. Now it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to be ready for Scarefest this year or not. I think that's why maybe there's a bit of kind of speculation at the moment about, oh, could the attic maybe come back. I think it all depends really on if this is going to be ready, because obviously they've just flattened what was there before.
Yeah, and there's nothing here at all. It depends how quick they can get it up and kit it out really, but it's looking a bit unlikely that this is going to be ready.
Yeah, you never know though. I mean, what are we, middle of July? Like, they could work fast. Have a little look over the fence just here, what we can see. There we go. So yeah, there's a bit of a look over. So as you can see, it's very flat. We've still got like some of the old foundation for the old tent in there, but you never know. It's clear though that this is definitely going to be a bigger location for Scarefest in the future. And obviously with this pathway, they can either queue you up or exit you on the other side by the Dark Forest sign as well.
Yeah, so it's got options to be able to do it. I look forward to see what they do with this space. It's quite a big one.
Yeah, it is. Quite a lot of room here, and it's just nice that they're building something a bit more permanent, because even though it is shipping containers and a tent still, technically what was here before, it's going to be a lot more permanent on a proper foundation, instead of just like the shipping containers kind of like chucked on the floor. Yeah, there's a digger just over there. There's no active work happening today, but yeah, this is definitely going to be a location in the future. It'll just be interesting to see if this is ready for Scarefest this year or not. But there is another one of these buildings that's gone into place, and that one is almost complete, so it's almost certain that that's going to be used for Scarefest this year, and that's behind the curse at Alton Manor. Let's go and have a look. And we're just making our way then down to Gloomy Woods. Just wanted to show you this lovely view across the lawn. So obviously at Scarefest the past few years, there's been a lot of Halloween entertainments, whether that's the family shows in the daytime, the singing shows. We absolutely love those, especially the singing shows. They are absolutely fantastic. All the dancers, the props that they use. Hopefully we have some more of that again this year. I'm sure we will do. For the past couple of years, we've really seen them enhance that. In terms of the character shows, I do feel like they need to freshen up some new scripts and things. Obviously you've got all the Scarefest characters, which are fantastic, but it would just be nice to have some updated storylines and scripts for your family entertainment for Scarefest this year. And then obviously last year we had Dad's Games Panic, which was that attraction located just over the other side of the lake there, in the corporate hospitality suites. It looks really out of place there, so I'd rather go to another location if it is coming back this year. Certainly looks likely, especially the fact that it is there on that visual that we saw outside the dungeon. Or maybe it could be going into that space. We don't know, it's all speculation and rumours at this moment in time. Or Dad's Games could maybe go, you know, in that area where we were just, if they do get it finished in time. We could see a different theme maze in there, or maybe this could go down by Gloomy Wood. I think that's highly unlikely though, especially based on some of the rumours that we've heard. The weather's getting a little bit spooky on this July afternoon. Have a little walk through the Haunted Hollow down to Gloomy Wood to go and have a look at this location for a brand new scare maze. The little archways just here. Remember when this was a nice scare zone down Haunted Hollow? That was fantastic. And talking of scare zones, I really hope we see the return of Burial Grounds. I thought that was fantastic last year. In fact, some parts of it are still set up down there by Wickerman, so hopefully that'll be back for a second year, and maybe we'll see another scare zone. I mean, I'd love to see another one free to enter around the park, maybe down by Nemesis Reborn. That'd be fantastic, utilising some of the costumes maybe that they've had for the roaming characters throughout the year, especially with how good Forbidden Valley looks at night, as we saw back in March for Alton After Dark. But I guess we'll see what happens, won't we? Exciting times now. I'm really looking forward to Scarefest this year. Basically, I'm just getting anything in that's spooky today. You know, these as well used to actually be in the original Tooley Street London dungeon. Fun fact for you, they weren't custom made for Alton Towers. They were from this dungeon, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, did you not know that fact?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Been custom made for here.
No, literally, yeah, that's why they were a bit of a later addition to Haunted Hollow, because you used to have the hearse here, if you remember, like as a photo op, and then they got these when they closed the original dungeon. Yeah, they used to be in there. There goes the monorail. explorer train there, based around the Alton Towers Hotel. And we've made our way now here into Gloomywood. And we're kind of on the pathway between Gloomywood and Forbidden Valley. If we walk just down here, this is where you get a great view looking at the building for this new scare attraction. They're actually working on this today as well. And if I just come over here to the rocks, there we go, we get a nice view looking at the building that's gone into place. So you can see this is built up of multiple shipping containers, and then down the middle you got the big tent down there as well. I've got to say the size of this, it goes all the way back in that direction. You can see just over here onto the right as well, and they've also put in the area where the pathway will be. You can see there, it's not been tarmacked yet, but yeah, this literally comes down here and will connect up with the main pathway. And obviously this looks like they've made it into a gate, or they're gonna make it into a gate and open this through. And there's another pathway that comes out just to the side of the toilets there as well. But yeah, look at the size of this, so it's a massive space. And the good thing is with this as well, it's technically permanent. You know, it's hidden away behind the fence just over here, so it means that Alton Towers can be working on this kind of in secret in the building, way out the way. And the most important thing is it's not affecting the tower's ruins. So yeah, this is a space that has never actually been developed here at Alton Towers. It's just been used for storage, and for many, many years there's just been like stuff chucked here, you know, like loads of rubbish, like loads of old ride parts and things like that have just been left over here. So it's been tidied up quite nicely. Just behind there you got like the monorail maintenance area as well. But yeah, look at the size of this. It's a huge building. And yeah, I reckon this will be standing for many, many years. And like I say, even, you know, in a few years time when they change the maze that will be in there for this year, or hopefully in there for this year, then yeah, we're going to be seeing, you know, future attractions used in this space as well. So yeah, it's a massive new permanent area for scare attractions. It's just so hidden away down there as well. Like from here on the pathway, you can hardly see it. And I reckon queue line wise, they might put a queue down the side here, maybe some barriers leading down here, or possibly because the toilets are double accessed here, a theory that I've got is maybe they'll close this side of access to the toilets, so literally you come in and out of the other side. It's
just so exciting to see a brand new build maze from the beginning, which I can't wait for.
Yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, imagine if you close up them toilets, it frees up all this space here then, doesn't it? And to have it like coming in and out. How are you doing? You all right?
Here for the bus tour?
I am. Yeah. I'm coming for the bus tour.
Oh, right. I'll go find it.
Oh, brilliant. It's Mushroom Cloud Luxury Tours. I can't believe it.
Brilliant,
lovely. Well, yeah, that's my theory anyway, because obviously there's not loads of room for queue line, is there?
No,
so yeah, if you close this side of the toilet door off, literally this is all queue line up here.
You can zigzag everybody.
Yeah, and then you've already got all this up here, so you can have your signage for the maze. Take this toilet sign down, or just cover it over, get leak signs down here, and then we'll see this is the entrance to this new maze. And that's the thing, it's all hidden behind the trees over there.
Brilliant.
Like, fascinating. Now we talk about the exciting bit. What's it going to be themed to? Now we've been hearing all sorts of rumours and speculation. A lot of people, a lot of people seem to think it could be themed around Nemesis. Now that would make sense, like going into the backstory of Nemesis. I think that would be great. It's very close as well to Forbidden Valley, kind of on the pathway here. I think another idea could maybe be Alton Manor themed, go more into the backstory of Emily Alton. I think that would be nice. Or it could be something completely different. It could just be Daz Games put down here in a new building. I hope not. It looks like it's coming back this year, but hopefully not in this massive space. You want to see something brand new. But I'm loving how it's hidden away. If I could pick one theme for it, I think going into the backstory of Nemesis. But what do you think?
I'd like to see Nemesis. I think that would be really good to see.
Yeah, like proper going down into the backstory, and then you could bring back the legend himself, you know, from the videos.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I just hope that they're doing Nemesis one. It'd be really good.
There's a lot of rumours about it, so I guess we'll find out. Hopefully it's not too long now until we get some official confirmation. They normally like selling tickets a good couple of months before Scarefest. It's so nice filming one of these Scarefest videos and just knowing we've got brand new things coming. We've done these the past couple of years and it's been very negative, but you know what? It was justified because there was nothing new coming in. This year, however, Scarefest 2024 looks like we're going to be in for a great lineup.
Oh, I cannot wait for the announcements. To not just have the same stuff and have new stuff is exactly what Scarefest needed, and it's going to be a fresh event which I can't wait for.
Well, now we know at least there's going to be 2 new things based on what they're doing in the dungeon and also as well next to the Curse at Alton Manor, but potentially unfortunately, if they get it done in time, we could be seeing something on that Darkest Depth site as well by Dark Forest. But obviously, you know, the building is nowhere near going in yet there, so we'll see what happens with it. It depends how fast they work, doesn't it, really? As to if that's going to be done or not, ready for Scarefest. But still, new things are on the way, construction's going on for things, and as always here on Theme Park Worldwide, we'll keep you updated. I don't think it'll be too long until we get the official announcement now, you know.
No, because they're going to want to sell tickets for it, so I can't wait to see what they bring out.
Yeah, and fingers crossed, you know, we get this brand new huge maze that we're all really looking forward to down here in Gloomy Woods. I think that'll be fantastic, a use of space there, because what a size of that building.
It's huge.
Like, it's massive. We could be seeing something really special. And it's the same with the dungeons as well. I mean, they've closed it a good few months before. Hopefully we're going to be seeing quite the transformation in there, and we look forward to seeing it. We've got a whole week of Alton Towers updates on the way, so stay tuned for all of our videos. But here from Scarefest, talking about this year's event, it leaves us with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in tomorrow's video.